It's time now for business. Kate Moody joins us. The French government's presented its 2021 budget as it tries to lift the economy out of the coronavirus-induced recession. And we are in the doldrums, aren't we?
We absolutely are. The worst such recession since the Second World War, Mark. And if you were listening to those announcements by Bruno Le Maire, many of them will have sounded familiar because that €100 billion recovery plan, which was outlined earlier this month, is really at the heart of next year's spending plan. It's based on a forecast of a 10% contraction in 2020, followed by an 8% bounce in GDP growth next year. The finance minister confirmed some €42 billion would be dispersed in 2021. The measures include a cut in production tax for major companies, training for young people about to enter the workforce, aid for factories to reduce carbon emissions, and the extension of the state-sponsored furlough scheme. Despite the mounting public debt, Le Maire vowed to continue supporting industries in need, saying that money spent to protect jobs and businesses was a good investment.
Since the beginning of the crisis, we've been doing everything we can to help the employees and the entrepreneurs, and we'll continue to do our very best. We will be by your side, and we will keep providing measures that will allow you to overcome these extraordinarily difficult times, this with the smallest possible impact on your activity.
The day's trading action now. Wall Street rebounding from its 4-week losing streak. The Dow Jones jumped over 400 points for its best session since early September. The tech-heavy Nasdaq was up nearly 1.9% at the closing bell. It is, though, still on track to lose over 5% as it nears the end of this rocky month of September. The major European indices closed sharply higher, the DAX closing up over 3% in Frankfurt, the CAC 40 nearly 2.5% here in Paris. Europe's banking sector led gains. Shares of HSBC jumped 9% after a Chinese investor increased its stake. Meanwhile, the pound sterling rose against both the dollar and the euro this Monday, trading at about $1.28 or €1.10. This as another round of Brexit talks kicked off in Brussels. The UK has refused to withdraw a controversial bill that would change the foundation of its withdrawal agreement from the EU. Both sides have said that significant gaps remain. Trade negotiators will be meeting on Tuesday as they try to reach agreement by the end of this year. Key sticking points include fishing rights, support for businesses, and cross-channel regulations for the financial industry. Uber has won the right to continue operating in London, despite what the judge described as its historical failings. The ride-hailing firm was contesting the Transport Authority's refusal to renew its operating license over safety concerns involving fake drivers. Uber says it's fixed security issues with its app and has apologized for mistakes that were made. It's been fighting for its license in the British capital on and off since 2017. It still faces a number of other legal battles around the world over regulation and the employment status of its drivers. Volkswagen is investing €15 billion in a joint project with 3 Chinese manufacturers to tap into the potential of China's electric vehicle market. The consortium plans to produce 15 different battery, electric, or plug-in hybrid models in China over the next 5 years. China accounts for around 40% of VW's sales, and it's become the world's largest car market in recent years. Well, electric motors are in the spotlight as Beijing's 2020 Motor Show takes place this week, the first and likely only such showcase for the industry this year. James Wilson has the story.
It's the event they thought might never happen. The Beijing Auto Show is likely to be the world's only top motor expo in 2020, amid one of the most turbulent years for the car industry on record. As lockdown measures brought their economy to a standstill, sales plummeted, and Chinese consumers bought only 300,000 vehicles in February, a drop of over 80% on the previous month's figures. However, the industry has quickly bounced back. Last month, 2.2 million vehicles were sold, and industry insiders say they are cautiously optimistic about the future.
I think globally, we still face a lot of challenge due to COVID-19. But in China, I think with the very quick containment of the pandemic by the Chinese government, I think we have seen lots of promising signs starting from second quarter. Also, this momentum is carried over into third quarter.
Prominent in the auto show were electric models. Beijing is aiming for 25% of Chinese vehicles to be energy-saving by 2025. and brands were keen to emphasise their commitment to a green future.
Because the timeline for fuel economy emission requirements will not stop. The timeline doesn't stop due to Corona, so we have to keep that timeline.
While globally auto sales are forecast to fall some 20% this year, China is predicted to be the only economy in the world where its demand will return to 2019 levels within 2 years.
American consumers are still allowed to download TikTok after a last-minute reprieve from a ban on U.S. app stores. A federal judge in Washington ordered a stay on that ban just hours before it was due to go into effect. It means the app will remain available for download on U.S. app stores, at least for now. But a more broad ban could be looming, as Catherine Viette explains.
Cute animal videos and dance routines are safe for the time being after a federal judge blocked a Trump administration order banning new downloads of TikTok. The social media app has been at the heart of a dispute between Washington and Beijing. Donald Trump has declared TikTok, which is owned by Chinese company ByteDance, a threat to national security. The White House says the personal data on the app's 100 million American users could be obtained by the Chinese government. In August, Donald Trump signed an executive order to ban the app unless its American operations are sold to a U.S. company. TikTok is in the midst of trying to firm up a tentative deal struck with software giant Oracle and Walmart last week to create a new U.S. entity, TikTok Global. But the two sides appear at odds over the corporate structure, with ByteDance saying it would still own 80%, while a statement by Oracle said Americans will be the majority and ByteDance will have no ownership in TikTok Global. Trump has said he won't accept any deal that did not involve ByteDance ceding control to the U.S. firms. The ruling buys TikTok some time. In a statement, the company said it was pleased with the decision and would continue to defend its rights. TikTok is also pursuing a lawsuit against the federal government, alleging Trump's executive orders are unlawful and the ban violates First Amendment speech rights.
Better use TikTok while you can, Mark.
Indeed, I just TikTok you and I here in the studio, so if you know who I am, Marco in France 24, TikTok, find it and see Kate looking, well, as Kate as ever. Wonderful.
Thanks.
There you go. Kate with all the business under TikTok news. Great to see you. Thank you very much indeed. Kate Moody there with the business.